Hey dreamers, I'm Bryce and I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be The Master of Puppets? Let's find out. Cue the intro.
So give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! Here we are, Master of Puppets, track 2 from the album with the same name, and I realized that this is the big one. When I started this journey, I knew that this would probably be the song that most people have the biggest, hardest, unchanging opinion about. So, I want to start this by reminding you all that I am a Metallica fan through and through. I love the band, and no matter what score I give this song, I still love everything they do. So just take everything I say, breathe it in, breathe it out, let yourself be okay if you have a different score than what I give it. I'm not telling you what it is because I don't know the score yet, but I just want you to know everything's good here. We're not arguing. We're all fans. We all love the band. Let's just dissect the song using the following categories: lyrics, instrumentation, composition, memorability, and emotional response. Each category is a scale of 0 to 4, and the grand total points is 20 possible. We're going to rate the song. It's 8.5 minutes, so strap in, and remember, it's okay if we have different opinions. Also, I want to remind anyone who might be a new viewer that I'm a musician myself. I play guitar, bass, drums, and I sing, and I have covered this song live before, so I know a lot about this song. So just getting that out of the way. I am qualified to talk about this. So let's get going. Without further ado, the Mr. Hetfield's opus, Master of Puppets. Yeah. Can we just talk about how cool of an intro this is to start a song with just bump, bum, bum, bum. We got the cymbal mutes with Lars. He's hitting the cymbal, but then he's grabbing the cymbal with his hand to get that sharp, crisp, and then we got the instruments just bop, bum, bum, bum. You know what's coming. When they're playing live, you can tell that this song is coming because they're usually holding out a note, and then you got the bump, 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 and just everybody starts screaming. They love this song. I love this song too. We have the drum roll and a stop, and now we have a brand new riff. I want to talk about this riff in particular. In the Creeping Death video, we talked about downstrokes. They have a tendency to play very fast using only downstrokes. They're not going down, up, down, up, down, up. They're going all down. And this is a very fast song. I want to show you the fingering on this side because it's E, F, B, E, F, C, E, F, C sharp, E, F, C, E, F, B. So they're always doing ba-bump, ba-bump, ba-bump. So really slow, it sounds like this. I messed it up, but you can tell the fingers are going really fast. So when you go full speed, it's something like this. Now that's really fast. I only played one time through the riff. They're going to be doing this riff for almost 8 minutes. It's so fast and there is no break. You get the bump, 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 and then for the rest of the song, you're... My arm aches before we get to the verse whenever I try to play it. I have to resort to down and up picking because I'm just not fast enough. And as much as I try to train myself, I just can't do it. I should rewind that. I can do it if I wanted to, but I just haven't wanted to try to train that muscle. So we're just going to leave it at so far I'm not able to. Maybe someday. But for now, let's continue the song. Those hits are really awesome. Emphasize. It's that bump 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 blah bump 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 bada 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 ba. I talk about how much I love first and second endings. We have the first part of the riff, and then it ends with the ba-da, and then the second time through it ends with ba, and then the third time it's back to the first ending, ba-da, and then the fourth time through you have the bump, 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 bump. So there is a different ending each time through the riff. It's sort of a 1, 2, 1, 3 sort of situation. I don't know how best to explain it other than it's really cool that they're switching it up. It's not just the same riff over and over and over. It changes. But then through that change, it's like 4 times through the riff. That in its entirety is the main riff. And then they do that, 2 or 3 or 4 times, however. Let's keep going. And then they add that extra measure, the bow, 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 bow. It's just adding it one more, keeps it interesting. And now we have a full stop, and Kirk is going to do his bam, 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 bam. This riff never comes back. Hi, bye, see ya. I want to talk about this riff. Now we're at a brand new riff. This is the verse riff, but we play it before we get to the words. There's a really cool thing here. We have just chugging on the E, and then did it, and then we chug on the E again, and then we have this did it, and that's a weird time signature that has been contested all across the internet. We don't know if it's some sort of 5/8 situation or a 3/4 or whatever. There's people who are saying there's 18th notes involved, like a 17, 18, or I don't know the actual numbers. I've actually studied it, but if I was playing it, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's almost 3/4, but it's not. It might not have the same amount of time as 3/4. It might actually be little bit shorter than that. It's a weird number. And so if you know the official number, put it in the comments below. But all I got to say is that they're playing out of time. They're not actually following a click on this. They're hitting a weird rhythm. And so that's really cool, really unique. I love seeing this stuff in music. And if this is the song that brings them to, like, all of a sudden everybody's listening to them, they're like, holy crap, this is a cool song. How many of those listeners do you think actually recognize this offbeat as an offbeat? Like, when you listen to this for the first time, do you get tripped up, or can you keep bobbing your head? And that's the important thing. When you're writing a song and you want people to bob their head, you don't want to throw them off too hard. You don't want to, well, I mean, Tool is their own thing and Dream Theater is their own thing. They have kind of a math rock thing going on. But some of those songs, I have troubles finding where the beat is. With this, you could just keep bobbing and you just know bump, bump, and they're emphasized in a way. The drums are hitting it so that you know where you're supposed to go. It's very, it's complex and simple all at the same time. Crazy. You could count at 3. Now for the pre-chorus, we move up to the 2. We've been chugging on E. Let me show you. So when we were playing on the E before, that's the root note of the whole key of the song. And we're going. Now we move it up to the 2, which is the F sharp. That's a whole step up. It's just slightly higher, but it's the same movement. Ending with the B, which is actually the 5 of E. So it goes right back down. It kind of, ending on that B gives us a chance to build, and then we can end on our E. Very cool structure. You'll see the 2 in a lot of Metallica songs. They do it in Enter Sandman. We're going to go through all their songs, so you'll hear it again, but just an interesting thing to point out. Let's keep going. What a catchy riff. I want to talk about the drum fill here. It's a really cool, the guitar riff is really cool, but let's talk about the drum fill. Da, 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 ba, ba, da. Come crawling faster, while you're all probably focused on singing the words, and maybe you hear the guitar. The drums are going really fast. The first time through. The second time through, it's a slower hit. So it's I don't know if it's 16th or 32nd notes. And then the second time, there's the quick ones in the start, and then it's just 8th notes or 16th or however you're counting the song. So it's a cool change, and it goes back and forth. We start with the fast, then we have this a little bit more straight, and then we go back to fast again, and then we have a triplet fill the last time. Triplets. Triplet one, triplet one, two, stops. I also want to point out that the chord progression of this part of the chorus, we have the oh, come crawling faster, but then this section of the chorus, this second half, the chord progression is interesting. Like, it's timed weird. It's not just ba 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 ba. There's like an interesting time. They hold the notes longer than you would expect, and sometimes shorter than you expect, and it kind of draws you in, it pulls you back, it's kind of goofing with you, and that's a really cool artistic way to do this. Not a lot of choruses do that kind of thing, so props to them for keeping it fresh, keeping it new, keeping it interesting, and also somehow managing to make it singable. We're all going master, master. We all love that part, but I want to know, when you're listening to this song, if you're not a drummer, if you maybe don't have this memorized as much as I do, then do you get tripped up? Do you ever want to say master or the next line of the chorus before they do? Do you try to chime in and then you find yourself you're a little early or maybe a little late? Because when I was learning the song, that was the case. And that's just because it's not like a straight 4 bars kind of situation. Sometimes there's an extra bar, sometimes there's one less. That's really creative. It's still in 4/4 mostly, but it's very interesting. Really cool. Back to the main riff. Bah. Second time again. I want you to listen how the drums are just straight. He's just kind of boom, ba, boom, ba, ba, ba. He's not really doing a whole lot of fills in the verse, but then when we get to the pre-verse, or the pre-chorus rather, he's gonna start emphasizing those da-da-da-da-da with fills. Ta-ta, boom, 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 boom. Ba, ba, he does a little bit more playing in the pre-verse to structure, or pre-chorus to structure it differently from the verse. Really cool. Listen. Straight again. See, that wasn't even straight 4. Let's go back to that. I want to count this out. Count with me here. Watch how these sections work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. This is weird. It's weird. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There's like a, let me, oh, that's so weird. So it's more like it's not a 4/4. It's like a 3.5/4, right? Which would technically be an 8. So I don't want to do the math here, but it's different. It's not just straight 4/4 time, and that's what makes the song interesting. Cool. Try it out in your own songs. It's very excellent. Master. Now we have this really, really beautiful piece. This song could have ended here, and most people would be pretty happy, I think. Some people would be super energized. Some people would say, yeah, bravo, really cool song. We're only a few minutes into the song, 3.5. This is radio quality. But they didn't stop there, and that's where you got to give Metallica credit. They are now going into a completely different area of this. This could have been a completely different song. They could have written a whole song based off of this section, and it would have been probably great. But the fact that they come down and they have this melodic piece, and then they build it back up to the energy of what we just had, it's. I mean, for lack of a better word, it's a trip, and it's very, very cool. I want to show you this riff too. It's so beautiful. Now, throughout this riff, James is going to continue playing that. Actually, Kirk is going to be doing most of this. I think James starts it, but the solo here is actually a James solo, this middle section. So that's really cool. But we have this this high part that goes on. And that's harmonized. But in the lower section, I want to call attention to the bass. Really cool. I think that that's a real fun bass line. Props to Cliff for just keeping it interesting, keeping it cool. The reason why he's playing those notes, that's all the chords in the progression. C, A minor, B. That's like an E flat or a D sharp. I don't know keys, I just play it. Either way, this whole section is really outstanding, and I'm just gonna let it play through. We have a volume swell. I know I said I was gonna play it through, but just to point out, bwomp, bwomp. He's playing the note first and then raising the volume, either the knob or using a pedal to do so. So you don't hear the attack of a pick. You just hear like, wah. It's very soft. Very cool. All right, let's play it through. Now we have a straight pattern. We were halftime, now we're straight. We got a jam. James soloing. Back to the halftime pattern. Same pattern, but now with distortion. Big toms. Just the E. Now on the 2. We're up a little bit, but we're kind of like hunting around, right? We're coming back out. Master, where's the dreams that I've been after? Master, I almost forgot the words. Laughter. All I hear is laughter, laughing at my cries. Up to the G, F sharp, fix me. You get headache. 2, the pre-chorus. Back to E. I gotta call attention to this riff too. This one, oh, so cool. So we talked about the intro, the main riff, sorry. They're using that same pattern, but they're making it less, like they're not moving as much. They're just going. It's very cool because it feels like the same thing, but it's slightly different. The notes are different. It moves less, but it still has the same pick, palm mute, open. Very cool. And then we're going to go into another fun little harmony. This riff is always super fun. 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to go back because it ends on a 2. That's a really weird count, but it's there. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm counting it wrong because I'm trying to listen and I'm trying to talk at the same time. But what I'm saying is it hits the 2. It's really goofy. It's really unique. Usually when you're writing songs, a lot of people end on the 2s and the 4s. A lot of people end on the 1. You know, when they finish the riff, it comes down on the 1. And these guys decided not to do that. Back to the main riff. Double the hits. We had this nice coming in. Really cool. There's a cymbal mute there. Really cool, Phil. I need to come up with some new words. I keep saying really cool for everything. I need you to give me some new descriptors other than really cool. Or if you're like when I use really cool, then I'll just keep doing it. But I should get some new words. Play with me. Notice how he doesn't hit the crash cymbal. It's still on the tom. He holds it. You don't get that cymbal until the next measure later, not on the 1 but later, and I think that's really, really unique to Lars's playing. He does it all the time. He never emphasizes the 1. He does emphasize the 1 sometimes, but I'm saying he does it on the 2 or the and way more often, and that's how you could tell when Lars is playing a song. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Oh, there was 8 there. Now we're back to the verse riff here, but the drums have changed. We're no longer going boo cha boo cha. We're doing on the ones. It's a different rhythm, keeps it fresh. In the background, you'll hear some guitars start doing some like reverse effects. It's an interesting end to the song. Everybody laugh, everybody laugh. Master, master, master. The master of pancakes. There's a lot of weird guitar effects going on in that end, and they don't play it live, so you don't really notice it until you start listening to the recording. But I don't know if it's a reverse effect or if it's just like a heavy, like some sort of like, I don't know what the effect is. I'm not very good with effects. I like playing distortion on, distortion off. That's my skill set. But it's some sort of a like spacey, like crazy sound, and it's really cool. Let's get to the rating. Lyrics, what is this song about? It's pretty clearly about drug addiction. There were a lot of problems in the 80s with crack and cocaine. It's probably about that, but it could really be a bunch, it could be about any drug. And it's talking about, obey your master, now I rule you too, drifting on numbered days. You could OD and die from this stuff. So kids, don't do drugs. They're bad. Just don't do it. But they're taking sort of an ironic approach. They're giving a voice to the addiction that is saying, hey, look, I'm in control. I'm the master of puppets now, and you got to do what I say. That's what happens when you fall into addiction. That's why you don't even want to start. Somebody offers it to you, just say no. That's all I'm saying to you. Just say no. I am fortunate enough that I have never had a sort of addiction to anything like that. So I'm happy that I'm safe. My mind is all the way here. But I know that so many people have fallen to that, and it just ruins their lives. And these lyrics really speak to the impact that it has on one's life. So finally, after 2 records of feeling kind of meh about lyrics, I feel really, really good about these. They're potent, they're well crafted, they're not just off the tip of your tongue, they're actually thought over and just artistic. It feels right, it feels good. Lyrically, this song gets a 4. Instrumentation. I talked about it before. This is so fast. They're playing so hard. They're adding all these crazy time signatures. Lars is going to town on the drums more than he has in previous records. He's maybe finding himself behind a little bit more comfortable behind the kit. Even Cliff is doing some really cool stuff in that you can't really hear in the mix because, and that's going to be the case for most Metallica songs because they're a very guitar-driven band. But the bass is doing some really creative stuff in the song too. Instrumentation is absolutely the best it can be. This is true Metallica. This one should be no surprise. 4. Composition. Again, you're always going to get points from me for having these weird time signature changes because I think that's unique. A lot of bands just stick to 4/4 or 6/8 or some variation of the two, and they don't really experiment much with those changes unless we're talking about Tool and Dream Theater and like math rock bands. But standard metal bands don't tend to veer into that. So I love that they're doing that with this song. Also, they have, okay, yeah, it falls into the same thing. Let's say it together. Verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus. same structure. However, that whole middle section is so new. It's so different from even their little breakdowns and stuff like Phantom Lord and the Four Horsemen and stuff before this wasn't to this level. It's really melodic. It really sings. It sounds like a symphony orchestra, which is probably why they work so well with symphony orchestras. It's just masterpiece. Absolute master of puppets piece. This one, for crying out loud, gets a 4. Memorability. I know what you're saying. Bryce, you're probably going to give this a perfect score, aren't you? And I'm going to disappoint all the metalheads out there by saying, no, you don't get a perfect score. Why? Master, very memorable. Very, very memorable. However, I always think of choruses, or chorusi? What's the plural of chorus? I feel like a good chorus needs to be a little bit shorter. They have a 2-part chorus. There's the come crawling faster, obey your master. Life burns faster, obey your master. That part's super memorable. But then we go into that second part, and there's like a whole verse of words before we get to master. There are a lot of things going on in this song. Because it's 8.5 minutes long, if you're first coming to Metallica, you might not want to stick around for the whole time. I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of people listen to the song for the first time and they go, whoa, I'm going to check out more. However, I know that when I was a youngin', the first time I listened to this, I was tired and I fell asleep. Shh, don't tell anybody. That middle section is really just like calming, right? I fell asleep during that section. Don't tell anybody. I'm telling the internet right now. I'm going to get so much hate for this. Memorability, it's super, super, super memorable, but because the chorus is so like long, I'm gonna knock it 1 point. Don't get mad at me. This is my opinion, not yours. You put your opinion in the comments below. This one gets a 3. Emotional response. You can see it. I'm happy. I'm feeling good. I want to rock. I've been playing air drums. I've been playing air guitar. I've been playing the real guitar. I love this type of music. It's very energetic. I'm just happy. I'm feeling good. I cannot knock them points. I feel very good. This one gets a 4. And so, altogether, Master of Puppets gets a 19, which puts it in the lead, number 1, the top of the 10, and it beats out Creeping Death because Master of Puppets had a better composition score. So that's how I determine whether or not it's higher or lower. So Master of Puppets number 1. I don't think it's going to last, but I don't know for sure. I am for sure that by the end of this whole process, we're going to have some form of competition because I know that there's going to be a lot of 19s and maybe even a handful of 20s. So we'll see what it does. But right now, Puppets is in the lead with 19. We just got rid of Jump in the Fire, so say goodbye to that one. And Cthulhu is it's hanging on right there in 10. I don't know how much longer it'll last. We'll find out tomorrow. So now it's your turn to tell me what score you would give this in the comments below based on my criteria. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I need the views so that I can continue to make this awesome content for you. Maybe when we finish all of Metallica's records, we could go on to another, just a different artist. I don't know which artist. You're going to have to give me that feedback. But I'm going to need more subscribers so that I can get some really good feedback on this. So share. And of course, hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow as we face the thing that should not be. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.